welcome back to the channel. I have a quick little review tonight. I finally got it done. The 1973 sci-fi book Frankenstein Unbound by Brian Aldiss. A few weeks ago, I did a review on the what was actually the sequel to this book, Dracula Unbound. So this is Frankenstein itself is actually a sci-fi horror. Some argue it's one of the first sci-fi books. So this is a sci-fi book. Frankenstein's involved and time travel. So the story starts out with in the far flung future of 2020, believe it or not. um, we have a scientist named Joseph Baudouin, and he's working on a weapon for the government that's going to um, the purpose of the weapon is to make things just not exist anymore and zap it to a different and kind of make it just go out of existence at the time that it gets zapped. And problem with that is when after he's developing and making this weapon, it's causing a rip in the space time continuum, and there are these slips, and they call them time slips, and things in different scenarios from other parts of the far past and not so far past are starting to everything's kind of falling apart and kind of starting to occur in our world. And eventually what happens is he gets caught up in one of these time slips, and he gets with his super cool futuristic car, he gets sucked back to 1816 in Switzerland by the Geneva Lake. And then at this time, it's we're into the Frankenstein story, where Frankenstein's younger brother has been murdered by his creation, and he also and then the trial's getting ready to start, where they frame the servant girl of the Frankenstein family for the murder of Victor Frankenstein's little brother. And Joseph Baudouin, he goes to this time, and he has encounters and discussions with Dr. Frankenstein. However, also in this area, they're vacationing is Mary Godwin, aka Mary Shelley, Lord Byron, and Percy Shelley, and they're all vacationing by the lake. And actually, he also has run in with her and meets her and has a whole big love affair and um, discussion with her about the story she's writing and whether or not it's fiction or reality, and it's all kind of mixing and merging into one thing. And he gets caught up in that, and he has a little whirlwind love affair with her, and he talks about the importance of her and the story and the impact Shelley's book is going to have in the future. And while he's there, he actually experienced another time slip, and then we fast forward another 2 months, and um, the servant of Frankenstein's been murdered, and everything's just starting to come to a head, like it does in the book for Victor Frankenstein. And Joseph Baudouin gets caught up in the middle of this, and he's kind of torn. He's fascinated by him being a scientist himself about what Victor Frankenstein has done, but he also has the compelling motive or want to destroy the beast at one time. However, things being are what they are, he doesn't stop it before Victor succeeds in creating a mate for the Frankenstein monster. And after all that ensues and everything else goes on, Frankenstein finally he realizes he's made his mistake again, and then he thinks, oh, I'm just gonna create Joseph. We're going to recreate a third monster to take out the other ones. We can do this. And then it kind of pushes Joseph Bodolin, the doctor from the future, over the brink, and he finally assassinates and kills Victor Frankenstein. And then after that occurs, Joseph Bodolin takes off in his crazy futuristic car that somehow is just able to drive no matter, even though there are no modern roads. He's able to drive this car, and he's chasing. There's time slips keep occurring, more and more time slips keeps occurring, and the topography keeps changing and everything else. And and Joseph Bodolin is chasing the monster and his mate to the far reaches of the tundra to like wastelands, and he's hunting him down. And he's got a large Browning machine gun mounted to his car, and he's gonna finally take out the two of them with this. And he finally gets to a point where he wrecks his car, but he has them in sights, and he starts firing a foray of shots. And he finally, when he's shooting them with this machine gun, he actually does take out the female monster, but the male one is still alive. And the male one comes in pursuit of Joseph Bodolin, and then Joseph just plugs him with some more bullets and everything, and just slowly rips him apart with the machine gun. He just keeps coming apart at the seams, and then the Frankenstein monster, just tells him he's no better than Victor Frankenstein, and what he's done, and what's been unleashed already can't be stopped. And yeah, the monster kind of dies in a way, but um, Joseph Bodolin, his ambitions is just as strong and destructive as Frankenstein's desire to grasp at straws that are just outside of man's reach, and he's just can't see to let things be, and not pursue things and endeavors that he should not. And Joseph Bodolin just keeps traveling further and further north, and he sees this strange that he's looking up to the stars, and everything's like, not some of the constellations are right, but some of them are out of place. And I think he even sees duplicates of the same constellations, and then he's drawn to this weird, strange looking city, and he he just um, he just knows that he has to go pursue this, but he doesn't see any signs of life or anything. And he goes to this city, and then it just kind of ends there. So you don't really know what's going to happen to Joseph Bodolin, if he's ever going to get back to his own time or not, or he's just going to be caught in the post-apocalyptic, torn apart world that he's created. So he's created his own Frankenstein monster in a way, and he's unleashed it upon the world, and he's pretty much led to the world's destruction with his creation. So yeah, this was a little. This was also turned. I did a review of the movie a couple weeks ago too, so you can find that. The book and movie differ quite a lot, actually. But yeah, this was a fun little 150-page read, quick read. Um, Probably not super great, but I don't know, you could do worse. And then it was just a little fun little mashup I did here at Halloween time in 2022. And uh, yeah, it's a little sci-fi horror mashup of a classic monster, a classic story. I would give it probably 3 out of 5. You could do worse, but probably could do better. I mean, if you've never read the original Frankenstein story, please read that before you read this. But yeah, if you like little pulpy, dirty, quick read sci-fi, not to take anything too seriously. It's a fun little read, especially in October Halloween time for something different. But that being said, that's my review of Frankenstein Unbound. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to my review. See you next time.